Now, the City of Johannesburg's Public Safety Department is set to officially inaugurate a new Chief of Police in Patrick Jaca today. The city's described this as a new chapter in law enforcement leadership and public safety. Watching developments is SABC News reporter Mbalenhle Mthethwa, who joins us now live from Braamfontein. And Mbalenhle, this new Chief of Police is facing a long list of issues even before they start.
Absolutely. What you would have heard just a short while ago is a speech from the acting city manager in the city of Johannesburg, just giving a list of all those challenges. Some are the traffic lights that are never working, and the issue of people who are living on the streets directing traffic is also an issue. But what is really important is also bylaw enforcement. Now, we know that bylaw enforcement is important because we've seen the passageways and the streets of the inner city being overtaken by illegal traders. And unfortunately, when they are then removed, they find a way to come back, even though there is law enforcement present in the city of Johannesburg. It would seem as though JMPD, when it comes to bylaw enforcement and ensuring that those who are trading in the streets of Johannesburg are indeed doing so legally, that arm of the city of Johannesburg, or JMPD, has not quite been strengthened. So those are some of the things that we hope to get a better understanding from the incoming police head here in the city of Johannesburg. But what you see behind me, I won't step out of the shot, but it is a parade to welcome the new police commissioner, and this has been welcomed by those who are a part of the JMPD police force, and they are in fact saying that this will assist in terms of giving direction as to how best to tackle some of the glaring issues and crime prevention and law enforcement issues that need to be tackled in the city of Johannesburg. Johannesburg does need to be a lot safer for people to walk in the streets, and what you're hearing right now is a choir, but that is singing in the welcoming of the police chief. But before we do so, I am going to speak to the MMC for Economic Development. You have been faced with the task of trying to get law enforcement to enforce bylaws and remove illegal traders in the inner city. Talk to us about how successful or unsuccessful your operations have been.
Thank you so much, Mbalenhle, for having me. I think, as you have said, my name is Councillor Nomaya, Minister responsible for economic development in the city of Johannesburg. As you would know, that the Executive Mayor has launched the High Impact Service Delivery Program, where we are expected as all departments to contribute towards either the cleanliness of the inner city. For example, ourselves as the Department of Economic Development, we are responsible for businesses, we are responsible for the informal traders. What we are currently experiencing, it has been a frustration where in every street, in every pavement in the inner city, you have an informal trader that is trading, be it, your second-hand goods, your clothes. We are not even certain if these people, are permitted to be selling these things. And our bylaws are very clear of informal traders that second-hand goods are not supposed to be traded in those pavements or either our own, markets as the city of Joburg. So what we have been doing as the department, we have been trying to do a process of verification where we remove, for example, clothes are not supposed to be traded on the streets. So we have tried to remove those people, working hand in glove with the Department of Public Safety, which is JMPD. So JMPD, their role is to come in and enforce bylaws. So when we check on our records and find that whatever that you're trading is not supposed to be traded there, then it is their role to confiscate. And if you do have permits or records or receipts of where you have bought your goods, you would then come and collect your belongings from JMPD warehouse. then you won't be allowed to go back in that pavement where you are trading. So it has been a frustration for us because we remove these people today and then the following day they come back. They have so much entitlement that they own the pavements of the inner city. They have been trading there for a very long time. And I think for me, what has been an issue is the issue of, the effectiveness of policing in the inner city, the enforcement of bylaws. We have been lacking there. Now, we believe that today, because we are inaugurating a new chief of police who will have more authority, in ensuring that policing takes place, there is accountability, in the inner city as well. The safety of our citizens, it's well taken care of, because these informal traders as well, there are people who are also conducting those illegal activities, and they hide themselves within these informal traders on the pavements of the city of Johannesburg.
Now, when you say that clothes are not supposed to be traded in the streets of Johannesburg, I mean, there have been streets that have been overtaken by the sale of second-hand clothes. Are you saying that the bylaws do not permit? And are you also able to explain to us what sort of processes that informal traders have to follow in order to get a permit from the city of Johannesburg?
Thank you for the question, Bali. I think our bylaws are very clear on what is it that should be traded there, because when we allocate you a trading space, we also give you a guideline to say this is what you are supposed to be trading. For example, in our markets, in our demarcated spaces, you are only allowed to be trading, fruits, vegetables. You are allowed to be trading, your second-hand goods, not clothing. So in most of these informal or rather trading spaces, you find that there are people who are trading, your overalls, your clothes, your underwears, which is not allowed. So bylaws should kick in there, and what is correct should be done.
Thank you so much for that. So what we are seeing right now is that the new commissioner is actually taking the podium, and this is why we've had to abruptly end that interview. And as you have heard, policing in the inner city has been a concern and has been somewhat ineffective, which has left the city of Johannesburg to informal traders who are trading illegally based on what the MMC is telling us, but they have become so emboldened and claim that the streets belong to them. Let's hope that the incoming police commissioner will also be addressing such. For now, I hand back over to you in studio while we try to position ourselves for that acceptance speech. It's back to you in studio, Ayanda.
Mbalenhle Mthethwa, live to us there from Braamfontein. Thanks very much indeed.